What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Joker's Wild video today. So we'll be going over the state of the Striker Titan in 2.2.1, the changes, and my opinion on the changes. First up, let's read through the 2.2.1 patch notes on the Striker. Specifically, the code of the Juggernaut was the thing that's got changed. So going over the perk, Frontal Assault, buff duration increased from 10 to 16 seconds. Buff timer is now displayed on the HUD. Buff now increases weapon damage, 25% in PvE and 20% in PvP. Next we have Knockout. Buff duration increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Buff is no longer disabled after a melee attack. In addition to breaking a shield, buff now triggers once you deal 60% damage to a target. Any damage dealt after 60% refreshes the timer, and then increased bonus melee damage from 25% to 60%. Then going over Reversal, removed the small health bump on melee kill from 20 health to 0 now, but this ability immediately starts health and shield regeneration. First up, let's go over PvE. Now let's focus on Frontal Assault. Obviously, this is where you get the melee kill and you get an increased susceptibility and now weapon damage, which is pretty cool. So in PvE, you get a 25% buff to your weapon damage, which, I mean, that could be pretty solid, you know, depending on what you're trying to do. Obviously, if you're trying to just go through a bunch of ads, like, yes is going to be really, really good. But I would say, like, if you're really trying to strategize, maybe you could use it for, like, a boss DPS aspect, like, maybe just melee and add real quick, get Frontal Assault to proc, and then you can actually start doing a lot more, well, I shouldn't say a lot more, but 25% more damage with all of your weapons. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Next, Knockout. Obviously, this is kind of goes around the melee part of the build, which, I'll tell you what, you gotta rock Syntheseps with the Code of the Juggernaut when you're going in PvE, just because it has a lot of synergy with that melee build. Like, once you pop somebody's shield or do 60% damage to a target, you get a bonus melee damage of 60%. 60% plus added on the Syntheseps if you have biotic enhancements like on. That's freaking insane. So you're doing a butt ton of melee damage. You actually get a little farther lunge range as well, which is freaking insane. Obviously, Reversal is the thing that actually kind of makes this build the kicker, to where whenever you get that melee kill, no matter if you actually have, like, I would say Frontal Assault, which is the melee, if you have that perk, I would say active or not, if you use it, it doesn't matter. Every melee kill you get, you still get health and shield regeneration started, which is pretty cool. This is my favorite class to run in the new Outbreak Perfected mission called 0 Hour, just because in the beginning, you can just melee a bunch of ads. Just because, like, biotic enhancements, you get that extra melee damage. Once you get knockout proc, you get 60% more damage on top of that. You can literally just rush through the ads like crazy. Plus, if you get to a spot where you actually need to ad clear, the Code of the Juggernaut will definitely do that for you, especially there in the beginning and at the final encounter as well, when there are a good amount of ads right in the beginning. Going over PvP with Frontal Assault, obviously, that is going to be a key weapon perk, like giving you that extra stability and 20% damage in PvP. That's pretty solid. Like, obviously your TTK is going to go down as well. I really don't know what else to say about that. I mean, obviously having increased stability and increased weapon damage is obviously pretty solid. Knockout, obviously, again, talking about the melee stuff, you do get that increased bonus melee damage from 25 to 60%. So if you do have Knockout active, like, that melee damage is going to be insane. Like, no matter what, you're going to be able to kill somebody with the melee hit. And what's pretty cool is that you can actually use Worm God Caress and actually go on streaks with the melee punches. So once you get that first melee kill, every other melee kill after that is a one-tap melee unless the buff runs out. So you can literally just melee through enemies like crazy. It's insane. I go on a few streaks in some of the gameplay here, but not a lot. But still, it's pretty solid. And the cool thing is that with Reversal, every time you get a melee kill, you start health and shield regeneration. So you can just go through people and be like, oh, I got my health back. Oh, got my health back. Oh, got my health back. So that's what's pretty solid about this build. Obviously, it is a close quarters build. Like, you have to be up on people for this to actually work and occur. And with the super itself, actually, Knockout actually gets procced as well. So when you do that shoulder charge melee, you actually get 60% damage when you get Knockout activated, which is pretty solid. And, I mean, the super is pretty solid in PvP as long as you can catch those enemies off guard. Like, you can have the super last for a pretty solid amount of time, because every time you get a kill, you get more super energy back, which is pretty solid. So I would say the only downfall is that most close quarters engagements, people are going to be having, like, shotguns and stuff like that, especially when it comes to that. So you definitely need to pick your engagements wisely. with this subclass, but still, I think it's pretty solid. There's definitely some interesting builds, especially Worm God Caress and maybe even Syntheseps. But I think for PvP, it's definitely pretty solid. Like, you get increased weapon damage, so once you get Frontal Assault proc for 16, you have 16 seconds of 100% stability and 20% weapon damage. So like, you have to take advantage of that. We're now at the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, but there are 3 things I want to go over. First up, my clan, the D1 Fire Team, is looking for active players in the Destiny community. Our members play all sorts of activities from casual PvE and PvP to the endgame content. If you're actively playing Destiny 2 and want the benefits of a bigger clan, the link to join is below. It'll say clan link. All you have to do is request to join, and myself or one of the admins will approve you. If you're with a smaller clan and want the benefits of a bigger clan, and you have, like, let's say, like 7 to 10 members, I'm just using that as an example, but if you want to come over, just send me a message on any of my social media links and we'll try to get something set up. Number 2, if you want to know how to support me, there's a link below that says best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that would be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and all that good jazz if you want to do any of those things. Lastly, we have a link to the community Discord below. Just a heads up, we're looking for anyone with moderator experience to potentially run the Discord. I know for myself, I'm more of a player instead of a manager, so if you have some moderator experience, just send me a message and we'll try to get something set up. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but if you guys would like to talk or chat with me, Discord is going to be the best way to do those things. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.